Hello my friends, it's Jeanette with Vivo Vintage Designs. Welcome to today's video. Before we get started, I'm going to let you know that I have caught my daughter's cold and I'm losing my voice. So I'm sure you can hear it's a little raspy, but I'm going to do my best to explain what I'm doing in this video to you. In this video, I'm creating watercolor fall leaves on a branch, and I'm using a wet in wet technique. And while the leaf is still wet, I'm dropping in a variety of greens, some reds, yellows, browns, and using a combination of those colors for each leaf. And while the leaf is wet, I am going to use my glass pen to create the veins in the leaf. Now, I'm using Fabriano 25% cotton watercolor paper because I found that I was having too much fun with this technique and going through a lot of my Arches watercolor paper. So I decided to downgrade to a lesser quality and less expensive paper to play with. And the only problem with this paper is that because it's only 25% cotton, it does not absorb the water as well as the Arches, which is 100% cotton. And the water and the paint just kind of sit on top of the paper, so it made blending the colors more difficult than the Arches does. But this technique with the glass pen still worked beautifully. And the reason that the glass pen works so nicely is because you're creating an indentation in the paper with the tip of the pen, and the wet paint it puddles in that indentation, and as it dries it is more pigmented in that indentation than the rest of the leaf. So it creates this beautiful veining, and it's such a fun technique. I've found myself obsessed with it, and I've painted more leaves and flowers over the weekend than you can possibly imagine. But I promise you, if you try this, you'll feel the same way. So in this painting, I'm using a Da Vinci brush, a Da Vinci Casaneo brush in a size 8, and I'm using a silver black velvet brush in a size 4. And I'll tell you a little story about my brush experience. When I first started with watercolor, I bought some Princeton snap brushes because they were inexpensive and I was inexperienced. I didn't want to spend a lot of money and I didn't know too much about brushes either. So I bought the Princeton snap brushes, and they were fun to play with. But once I became more confident with my painting, I invested in the Princeton Aqua Elite brushes, and I really enjoyed using them because they held a lot more water and they have a beautiful fine tip that I could use to create detail and fine lines, and I really enjoyed using them. But then I heard one of the artists that I follow mention that she used the silver black velvet brushes. So I went on Amazon and I ordered a set of, I think it was 3 brushes, and I think I paid maybe $48 for the 3 brushes. And oh my God, what a game changer. I love those brushes. They hold so much water and they have a beautiful fine tip, and they're just softer bristles. And I like the control that I have with the softer bristles as opposed to using a brush with stiffer bristles that have more snap. So then I love Louise Damasi. I follow her on Facebook, on YouTube. If you're not familiar with her, check her out. She does some beautiful painting, and I noticed that she uses the Da Vinci Casaneo brushes. So I said, well, let me give them a try. Maybe my paintings will be as beautiful as hers. So I ordered about 5 different brushes, and I have to tell you that I do not like them as much as I like the silver black velvet brushes. So let me know in the comments What are your favorite watercolor brushes and why? Do you prefer a brush with a stiffer bristle or a softer bristle? So I think that I must own about 15 silver black velvet brushes, and I have a ton more in my wish list on Amazon, and my goal is to own them all. I'm obsessed with them. They're such great quality, and I love the control that I have with them. Okay, so here you can see I've painted all my petals. I've dropped all my different colors in, and while not petals, leaves. While the leaves were wet, I used the glass pen to create the veining in each leaf. But I'll tell you that before I received my glass pens, I was using a ballpoint pen that had run out of ink, and it worked just as well. It created the same effect. However, I had to be fancy, and I had to order the glass pens because they're so pretty. The set that I ordered came with 6 pens, and I ordered the set of 6 because I thought they're glass. If I break them, at least I'll have a replacement. But they have other pens that you can buy individually. You don't have to buy 6, you can just buy 1, and they're less expensive. I hope you give this a try, and if you do, I would love to see what you come up with. So drop a picture of your painting in the comment section of this video on my Facebook page, Vivo Vintage Designs. I'd love to see how you do. And to finish off this painting, a little splatter, and there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.